Okay, I got a special episode for you today. So, have you ever wanted to develop your own film? We're at John's house and he's gonna help me develop my film.
Yep.
So let's
my
go.
chemicals.
Yep. Okay, so this is a 4x5 slide film. So this is one of John's hobbies. He takes a lot of large format slide film. So this is from 4 years ago. Still looking good. Alright, so I have shot 2 rolls of film. So this is actually a respooled Ektachrome E100.
Okay, so what I have here is a changing bag or dark bag. The stuff will go inside here. It's double layered, so it's totally light tight once everything goes in. So for this process, I have to load the film into the film spool over here. And this spool will go inside this tank. Once it's closed, the tank can be taken out from the changing bag and you can expose it to the light, no problem, because all the stuff inside here will be light tight too. But first, the tricky part is to load the film into the spools here. It's been a few years since I've done this, so hopefully I don't screw it up.
To give us an idea of what is done in the changing bag.
Yes.
So you see you have the roll of film, which is
Yeah, this is basically
a
a
strip of
spoiled
film.
film.
Yeah.
What you have to do is get this roll of film inside this reel over here. So you need to thread the film into the reel like this. And all this has to be done in the dark. I have to emphasize that. Don't take it out in the light. Yeah, because your film will be gone. Yeah, so once you thread it in, the motion is quite straightforward. You just have to twist it to and fro and
it will start to load by itself.
Yep,
Okay.
the film will basically just load by itself. Yeah, so it looks easy in the light because I have space and everything, you know.
Because you
But
can actually see it.
yes, because you can actually see it and I have all the space around
Yeah.
me to handle the film. So other tools that I would need to use, a pair of scissors to cut the film at the end. And this is a can opener or bottle opener. Basically in the bag, I'm going to do this. I'm going to lift out the lid and then take out the spool of film that's inside this canister. Of course, if you want to save the canister, you actually have to make sure that your film is outside here. Then you can actually remove that in the dark. But
You don't have the thing, right?
well, I don't have the tool to
Yeah.
remove it. Or you can actually use like a piece of tape or something to do.
Okay, okay.
Yeah,
but it doesn't matter, this is a recycled canister
Yeah,
anyway, so
so-
we can't really recycle it again.
Yeah.
Or
If
you
are-
can go to Wampo and ask uncle to help you just pull out the
Oh
leader.
yeah, sure. Yeah.
That's another option.
Yeah. If not, bottle opener and then
Yeah.
lift the lid of the canister and then you're done.
One thing to note is that everything must be in the dark bag because once you start, you can't open the dark bag.
Yes. Another thing that might help is that if you happen to have aircon, it is very important. Oh, forgot the other wheel. Because the bag is actually very humid.
Ah,
So,
okay.
it
So
gets
you will
hot.
sweat.
Yes, you sweat quite a lot in the bag.
Okay.
So if you do it in an aircon environment, it's a lot more comfortable. So now everything is inside the dark bag. It should be completely enclosed. I need to feel around for the stuff. Okay.
So it looks like I don't know what he's doing in there. We'll check back again once it's done.
Yep.
Because we can't see anything but the bag moving.
Yes.
So let's not stress him, we'll check back in a while.
Okay. Yes.
So if you were to turn off all your lights and maybe, I don't know, cover your windows, is it dark enough or still not dark enough?
No. That won't be dark enough. Yeah.
So don't try to just cover up your windows.
No,
lah.
that won't be dark enough. It has to be like totally pitch black. You
Oh,
can't
yeah.
see anything in front of you level of darkness.
Okay.
Yeah. It's not like printing on photographic paper where you can do it in
Yeah.
a dim environment with a red lamp.
But there's some black and white films that are not rate sensitive, right?
There are some. Yeah, there are some
remember
black
what
and
they
white.
are,
Yeah, I can't
but some
remember.
are, yeah.
There are some not really common, but even for the black and white films that I play around with, I still
Yeah, they are always rate sensitive also,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
you do
yeah.
have
So
to keep them in the
I
dark.
still do have to process them in complete darkness. Yeah.
So is there a risk that you scratch the film also?
Yes. So be very gentle. Of course, if it's your first time, you will tend to be a bit rough with the stuff, and Yeah, but after with enough practice, I think you would get the hang of it, and then you know.
Just do it slowly, I guess.
Yeah, just do it slowly.
After much effort, we have
Yes.
put the film into this protein shake.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the canisters look like that now.
Okay.
The film is now inside the spools, and they are inside this light tight Patterson tank. So
Let's go. So now we are going to the dark room.
Yes, not really the dark room it's
the bright room.
my toilet. Yeah, everything is inside here, which is completely dark.
Alright, so we are in the chemical room.
Or rather, my bathroom. Let me fill up this tank first.
Okay.
That's a bit noisy.
Okay, okay. We can
Basically,
discuss after
I'm
we
filling
do
it with warm water
Okay.
so that it preheats to about 38 degrees Celsius.
So it's like your water heater kind of just warm.
Yeah.
So this to prevent the chemicals from cooling down, right? Once you pour it
Yeah.
in.
Yeah. But first, I will just do a bit of pre-soak. I mean, or rather, I will just try to wash out the. I forgot the name of that term, but if you see, it's going to come out with all sorts of funky colors.
Ooh,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
okay.
It's this layer of chemicals that's on the film.
So I know the cinematic film has ramjet on
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
You
Yeah,
can't
yeah.
wash it off like this. You need some other
you can't.
chemicals to wash.
Yeah, it's not really ramjet for color films,
Yeah.
but
But there's still a layer or something.
Yeah, yeah. Usually I try to remove it first.
Okay.
Yeah, but whether or not you remove it, I think it doesn't really affect too much for color chemistry. So
Okay.
now I'm gonna leave it there for about 5 minutes-ish.
Okay.
Yeah. And
So
then,
you want to go through your setup of what?
oh yeah,
what
sure,
was
sure,
this?
sure. Okay. So these are the set of E6 chemistry that I have. We have the first developer, then followed by the color developer, then the bleach fix, or rather they call it bleach, and then the final step would be the stabilizer. So it's a 4 bath kind of solution. Each of them has to go in one after the other. So after the film is preheated, I will start with the first developer, pour it out, and then I will continue with the color developer, so and so off with the bleach, and then finally with the stabilizer. Then after that, you'll get your hopefully beautiful film out of it. Color development is a very tight and strict process.
So what's the temperature for this?
It's 38 degrees. It has
Okay.
to be 38 degrees throughout.
Okay.
Actually, probably only the first developer and maybe the color developer has to be at around 38 degrees. For bleach and stabilizing, if it's a bit of deviation, it's still fine. But your first and color developer should be as close as possible to 38 degrees Celsius. Yeah. If not, you get all sorts of weird color casts.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so basically this is a timer.
Yeah.
A set of timers that he needs to use so that he can figure out when he needs to like change the liquids.
Yeah. Okay, so what I'm using is a sous vide heater. You usually will use that for cooking, but it's great for film development as well. You can get a cheap one, and then it works very well.
Also, even a cheap one is sufficient.
Yeah, even a cheap one is fine. I think
Okay,
it's like
okay.
what, $70 you can get.
Okay,
so
okay.
it says about 38 degrees Celsius
Okay.
over here. I have another analog kind of thermometer, or rather the alcohol thermometer to confirm that. And
Okay.
it's really 38 degrees on the dot.
So how much can you deviate from this?
I
What is
think
like the allowable or there is not allowed?
for color, I think 0.5
Okay, okay.
degrees.
So ideally you want it to be
Don't-
spot on.
Yeah, yeah. Don't deviate more than that. Yeah,
Okay.
if not, there may be weird color casts.
Okay.
Yeah.
So for the chemicals, can you reuse or you can't reuse?
You can reuse. Yeah. Yeah. So you can actually reuse color film chemistry. They have a limited lifespan, but it's better than the black and white because you usually you don't have to pour them away. You do have to increase the development time every time you reuse the chemistry, but
okay.
process your stuff within okay, let me start the timer first. As long you process your film within like 2 months of mixing up the chemistry, I think you are good. Yeah.
So it comes in a liquid or it's a powder then you have to mix with water?
it comes in a liquid concentrate actually.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. So
You just have to dilute
you just
the
have
correct
to
amount
dilute
of
it,
water.
yeah, with the correct amount of water. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
So people always say that E6 is very difficult.
It is not exactly more difficult than black and white, but
It's just
very-
more
but-
steps.
Yeah, there are more steps, and you just have to be a lot more particular with the technique, yeah, and you have to really pay attention to the temperature and the time. So,
Okay.
so every 30 seconds I will agitate it once.
How do you agitate the thing?
There's a stick over here where I would just
Oh, just twist it.
twist
Oh,
it,
it
yeah.
just turns the,
Yep.
the rolls inside.
yeah, it just turns the rolls inside.
Okay.
So yeah, usually for black and white, most people would do the inversion technique.
Yes.
Yeah, but because this is color and the chemistry can be a bit nastier,
Okay.
you wouldn't want to risk
Spill anything lah.
spilling it out. And
Okay.
of course, you wouldn't want to take it out from the water bath because that
you
will
want to
affect the
maintain-
temperature. Yeah, you want to make sure that everything is, you know, at 38 degrees.
Okay, the timer is counting down to 0.
Once it's finished, I would pour the chemicals here back into the chemistry bottle.
Okay.
And then I would save that for future use, of
Okay.
course. Then after that, I would need to do the washing for
Okay.
this step.
So
Yeah.
you just use normal water to wash?
Yes, normal water to wash. But I will use warm water because it has to be at that temperature range.
How do you know the temperature of the water coming
Okay,
out
I
of
mean,
that?
this one is sort of like, gas work or aggravation.
Is it
kind of thing.
important? It's not so critical.
It is
lah.
not so critical at this stage because the first developer step is done.
Okay.
But it still has to be near
Okay.
38 degrees Celsius. So now I'm going to pour the chemicals back into the bottle.
Do you have to rush to to wash it or anything?
Not really. I mean, do it as soon as possible, but you
Okay.
don't have to, immediately pour in water as quickly as
Okay,
possible.
okay.
Yeah, I'm doing this because my shower has like hot water.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we always talk about washing the film, so literally we are washing the film now.
Yep. So I have to do this for 7 times. It's not the most environmentally friendly process because it uses a ton of water.
Actually not really, because just like 7 cups of water lah.
Kind of 1
Yeah.
liter each time.
Yeah.
Around there. Yeah.
So there's no real time limit on this, you just do
Not
it 7
really.
times.
Yeah. Good to try to keep everything within 38 degrees Celsius. Yeah.
Okay, so what is this now? Second step.
So this is the second step, which is the color developer. Yeah. Same thing. I'm just going to pour it inside the canister. Just going to be careful with it. Make sure I don't spill anything. Okay. And then I can start the timer.
Okay, so now we are
This
developing.
Yep.
So for the timings, right? These timings are all like set by the manufacturer, or is
Yes, yeah.
always the same?
It's based on the instructions that I get from the chemistry, so usually I try to follow that as close as possible. As usual, you agitate once every 30 seconds, and yeah, that's about it. Kind of a dry and boring process in that sense.
Yeah. Yeah, so just now you were sharing with me, right? The chemicals, you can probably use them for quite a few times.
Yes.
More than what is stated.
Yeah, but I'm not encouraging anyone to do that. It's just that I've gotten away with like up to twice of what they recommend. But that's because I do everything in batches. So I
You don't
collect
leave it
a bunch.
sitting for a long
Yeah,
time.
I don't leave it sitting for a long time. I just do it one shot all the way. Of course, over a few days. Yeah. So the chemicals can last up to 2 months, but it's good to basically finish your development within the first month. So what I do for 4x5 is that I accumulate like a big backlog. So now I have about about 80 sheets of film, which is probably, you can say, equivalent to about 20 rolls of film in that sense, something like that. And then I will just process all of them in one go. Of course, across like maybe 1 or 2 weeks. So what I do for 4x5 is that I shoot both color negatives and color slides, so that in case I screw up my slides, I don't have to worry because my color negatives usually I overexpose, and color negatives has a much wider latitude or dynamic range compared to color slides.
So do you develop the negatives too?
Oh yes, I do it.
You will develop it eventually also.
Similar setup,
Okay.
but not as many steps. Yeah.
Okay.
But it's still a time-consuming affair.
Alright, so we are done
so
with
the
second step.
step is done.
So we're gonna wash it again?
Yes, I have to wash it again. This step I don't really need to use hot water because the the temperature critical steps are more or less done. So I
Okay.
can just use the regular tap water. It should be fine. Yeah.
So how many rounds do you need to go for this again?
Oh, same thing, 7 times. Yeah. Although for the final 2 washing steps, I will use like hot water again, just to make sure that the temperature is like kind of equivalent to.
But just want to get it back to the temperature.
Yeah, more or less. Yeah.
Okay, recording for reels that are gonna get some haters again.
Yeah, people are gonna say, "Oh no, you should have done this. You know, this is wrong. Why aren't you agitating now? Quick, 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 quick!" Yeah. But you know, it doesn't have to be such a stressful affair.
You know, everyone keeps saying like E6 is so difficult, so difficult, so difficult.
It's not exactly more difficult compared to normal black and white. It is just more tedious.
Just more steps.
More steps, and then there are steps that you must pay attention to, especially the first developer.
Okay.
Yeah, color developer. Yeah, still a bit you know, critical, but.
So basically, it's just temperature that must be
Yes.
the correct thing.
Yeah, the first 2 steps, FD and CD, make sure you get your temperature dialed in properly. The rest is slightly better, not too bad. You know that the variation can be a bit more, but you generally want to keep everything within 38 degrees Celsius. But if you have a buff like this, you don't need to worry, because you know, you put everything inside here, it's temperature controlled, you should be good to go. Yeah.
Yeah, so we were talking about the cost of it. So yeah, how much is it
I
gonna
believe
cost you to buy the chemicals?
Yeah, so I believe the chemicals that are bought with shipping, everything, like just the chemistry alone, I think is about US $50-ish, US $50 to $60.
Okay.
And then shipping to Singapore cost me about Singapore $20.
Why do you shoot 4x5 rather than 8x10?
Okay, 8x10 is just too big, really. But I really salute people who do 8x10 because it takes a lot more discipline compared to 4x5, which already takes a lot of discipline. But 4x5, what I have is a field camera, because it packs up into a very nice compact kind of package that, you know, I can bring anywhere with me. I can bring a bunch of lenses, and I have a lot more flexibility bringing that kit out.
And also,
Yeah.
he was sharing the developing, right? This container can only put 1 sheet of 8x10.
I think at most 1 sheet of 8x10. I have not tried it with this because I don't shoot 8x10. With normal 4x5, you can fit up to 6 sheets in a specialized holder.
Yeah.
So you can develop it like a normal kind of film roll.
And also, I think for 8x10, the cost will go up dramatically
Oh
because
yes, a lot more.
the
Yeah,
film
for
is
sure.
expensive, then you got to buy bigger equipment, more
Yup.
chemicals.
Yep, yeah.
Yeah, so everything adds up. So it's
Yeah.
not just the camera itself.
Yep, the cost will be a lot more prohibitive in that sense.
Okay, so last step is done.
Yes.
Alright. Alright, so let's just wash it again.
Yeah. At this stage, after the blitz is done, it's more or less safe to remove, because all that's left is washing.
Okay.
So it looks like, yeah, it looks good. I mean, the colors look a bit off now because, you know, it's still wet. You have to
dry it.
Yeah, you have to wait for it to dry.
Okay, but at least we know it was loaded properly and my camera wasn't broken.
And there are pictures.
Yes.
Yeah. And yeah, I didn't screw up anything. So that's good. Yeah.
That's good, that's good.
Okay. Spooling the wheel, I think this is my first time in like, I think 8 years. I don't shoot a lot of small format, you see. Yeah.
So now I think our channel also, we are slowly going to bigger and bigger formats.
Nice, nice.
Yeah, so Prash was saying that yeah, he wants to get a try with 4x5 or 8x10. So I think after he sees your 4x5s, I think he will want to start.
Okay, so now we are going to continue on with the washing. It's going to be like 5 minutes of constant agitation.
But you just soak it there, right? You
Yeah.
have to keep changing the water.
Yeah, just have to. By right, you have to keep this under running water, but
okay.
it would be extremely wasteful.
Okay, okay.
Because 5 minutes of constant running water, not at a trickle, but like full blast to make sure that it's thoroughly washed.
But you can just keep changing the water also if you are.
Yeah, you can keep changing the water.
Doing
So
this, right?
what I do is I will set a timer for 5 minutes, and then for every minute I will
Change the
water.
Okay.
But during the minute, I will constantly agitate the film, so to just make sure all the bleach is gone.
So we're just basically just trying to wash it as thoroughly as possible.
Yeah. As much as possible, you want your water to be as clean you know.
Okay, so on the topic of as clean, right?
Yeah.
Tap water is fine.
Tap water is fine.
You don't need to use any distilled water.
Yeah, you
or
don't have
anything.
to use distilled water. Yeah, I'm sure not many people can afford like a full kind of distilled water.
Yeah, okay.
Setup.
But it
so
doesn't
tap water
really
would-
make a difference.
Yeah, it doesn't really make a difference from what I can tell.
Done. Now is the last
done.
step of just the last
Just
wash.
Yeah, just one last wash and then
So we have
pour away the water.
done everything.
So we are good. Okay. So
Take
now
out the
we are
film.
going to remove the film from the reel. Good. I didn't squeeze the film too much. Yeah. So can basically take everything out. Now we can see our handiwork.
Ooh.
Oh wow, this is good. Okay, the sunset is a bit underexposed, but I think the rest looks good. Yeah. Take a hanger over here. Use my clip here. And then we'll take this. I think probably we want to.
So you are not too worried about the dust and stuff lah.
No. Usually I don't have any issues.
Usually it's okay lah.
Yeah.
So you
I'll
just hang it with your
Yeah.
laundry.
Yeah, I'll just hang it with the laundry. Yeah. Okay. Over here is good. Yeah.
Alright.
So I would clip the bottom so at least it's weighted down by something else. Yeah. And yeah, you can admire everything.
So there are images. That's a good thing.
That's a very good sign. Yeah. The film is wet.
Okay.
But after that, you should get the colors that you have shot with. If let's say there's a very strong like green or magenta color cast, likely it's because of some issue with your development or maybe your film is expired or what. Yeah.
Alright. Thanks, John, for developing for me.
No problem.
Yeah, so he's the best.
Yes. That will be
E6.
$20.
So we're gonna scan it in and let's see what it looks like.
Or
So
rather, I will be scanning it in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
you hate scanning film?
It's a process, but
Okay.
I will probably automate this one.
Okay.
You don't mind
Yeah.
having your wheels cut, right? Because I will
Yeah,
have
just
to cut,
cut, just cut.
Yeah, I will have to cut them.
Anyway, I probably will try and mount them
Okay.
eventually.
Yeah.
And I don't know what we're gonna do with them after that. Yeah, so they look good. It's actually a E100.
E100G.
Yeah, from hands-on film, it was respooled. So at least now we know there are no light leaks. Everything was okay. And the chemicals all worked perfectly.
Yep.
And nothing was screwed up. So let's see the photos in a bit.
Yep.